Now that you've uploaded and selected your media file, and you've created and added some slides to the timeline, next you might want to consider creating some chapter points. And chapters are kind of like chapters in a book. They mark the beginning of new content that exists within your chalkboard. You may recall from one of our earlier lessons that we talked about chalkboard technical limitations, and one of those limitations was that your media file could have a maximum duration of 60 minutes. So assuming that you had a chalkboard with a playtime of up to 60 minutes, you're probably going to cover multiple topics within that span of time. And chapters will allow you to mark the beginning of each of those different topics as the student progresses through the chalkboard. They really serve two purposes. First, they're a visual cue to the student that you're moving into a new topic, but they're also hyperlinks within the material. So as the student progresses their way through, if they wanted to go back and review a specific topic, or maybe even leave and come back at a later time, they could simply click the chapter point to review that topic versus them having to scroll back and forth in the player progress bar to find where that topic might exist. To create your chapters, you'll simply click the Manage Chapters link, and here you'll type in the beginning of the chapter. So I'll call this one Intro. And just like when you added slides, you're going to add the begin time, and you can do it the same way you did with slides. You can either enter in that begin time, or you can play and pause and add your chapters. You may find it convenient as you're adding your slides to add your chapters, because in most cases you're going to find that you'll have a new slide that marks the beginning of a new topic. So you could also create a chapter point at that exact same time. So in this case, we're going to manually enter our begin times, and we're going to put this intro chapter at the very beginning here at 00. And just like when we added slides, we'll click the Add Action button, and now this will populate here in the chapters area. Let's create one called Chapter 2, and let's put that one at 20 seconds. And then we'll click the Add Action button. And next we'll create one called Chapter 3, and we'll put that one at 50 seconds. So as I add my chapter points, you notice they're populating here in this area. There are two numbers. The beginning number indicates the time, the start time of that chapter. The second number indicates the duration of that chapter. So you'll notice that the intro chapter begins at 00 at the very beginning and lasts for 20 seconds. Here you'll notice that chapter 2 begins at 20 seconds and lasts for 30 seconds. Also, you'll notice in the timeline view below there are bullet points here that represent each chapter that you add. So if you mouse over each one, you'll see the title of that chapter. And just as with slides, if you need to edit the begin time of any of those chapters, you can simply click on the Edit Action icon. You can modify that begin time. We'll change this one to 55, and then we'll click the Save, and that chapter point jumps ahead.